Robert Whittaker is one of the best middleweights that has ever done it. He's a former world champion. His only losses in the last 11 years are to Israel Adesanya and current world champion Dricus du Plessis. UFC Abu Dhabi is going to be a very real test for Robert, and if he can still compete with the elite in this division. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to break down the entire UFC Abu Dhabi fight card, giving you my picks, predictions, and bets. UFC Abu Dhabi has had a couple of switcherinos. We have a brand new matchup. We have a couple of brand new additions to the card. So I don't know what this fight order is going to look like come fight night, but as of right now, this is what we've got going on. Opening up the UFC Abu Dhabi fight card is Almabayev taking on short notice Jose Ochoa. Almabayev is a flashy striker. He's a dominant grappler. He can control striking range. He can even work in some spinning attacks before shooting those big takedowns and controlling on top. He doesn't go looking for submissions, but he does do a great job snatching them up in scrambles. He's strong. He sets a great pace. He has plenty of cardio. And he's coming off that finish loss to Manel Kape, where it was clear that Manel was just the much better striker. He's taking on short notice Jose Ochoa. This guy's well-rounded. He's happy to slug it out. He's happy to work in some grappling. His takedown defense is solid. He does a really good job defending the actual takedown. So instead of the pitter-patter strikes, he's stuffing the head, working his hips out. He's got flashy finishes on the feet. That has more to do with his incredible pressure than it does just raw power. But he's got good volume, and he gets after it. He can be hittable, but he's durable enough to hang. He's coming off that knockout win over a pretty chinny Cody Durden. I mentioned this is a short-notice step-up. Asu was originally supposed to fight Ramazan Temirov, which I feel was a much tougher fight than this is. I do think short notice is going to matter here because Asu sets his own pace. He's got his own pressure, especially fighting on the other side of the planet. I think Jose Ochoa is going to be in sort of a tricky situation here where he has the talent to hang, but the short notice, the cardio, the pressure, the pace, the judges are all going to factor in here. And this line is swinging. Asu was the favorite. He is now the underdog. And I don't know how much farther this is going to continue to swing. And I'm worried it's going to come back. So I actually placed a bet on Asu. I think Asu wins here. I do think it's a close fight. We might rely on the judges and some bias globally to get this done. I've got a bet on Asu at minus 105. Like I said, I'm worried that line's going to swing back. I'm surprised that Jose is the favorite here. He's not, I mean, he's good. But Almabayev is very good, and a Manel Kape loss is very, very credible. Almabayev is going to be the pick. We'll see what this line continues to do. And before I move on to the next fight, let me move $50 into your wallet. If you have seen this promo before, you know how it works. We got affiliate links with a couple different sportsbook partners. All you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/bets. You use any of those affiliate links, you sign up, you make an account, you make a deposit, we get paid, I slice off $50 and I pay you. Very simple process. That's wewantpicks.com/bets. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We'll send you $50 as a thank you. This is the newest addition to this card. Neither one of these fighters was already on the card. Both of them are brand new. The Almabayev fight, he was on the card. He had a full fight camp. He has a short notice opponent. That's not the deal here. We have two heavyweights that were not scheduled for this card that are now on it. Couple of random factors there. We have a UFC debut in Marcus Buchecha. And I don't speak Portuguese, and I guarantee it's not Buchecha. But we have a UFC debut in Marcus. We have a Martin Buday who has never been exciting and probably won't be exciting in this fight, but we have a big skill gap here. One of these guys is phenomenal at one thing, and the other one is well-rounded enough to do all of the things. Martin Buday can be a powerful striker at times. Obviously, at the UFC level, it's very hard to just start knocking people out. He's got heavy hands, though. He does have 11 stoppage wins. He's got good footwork. He throws everything with intent. He's averaging almost 5 significant strikes per minute, but he himself is hittable. He has a negative striking differential. He can be a slow starter. He's coming off that decision win over a short notice Uran Satibaldiv, which was just an absolute joke. He gets this short notice bum, goes 29-28. And this is a similar situation where he's going to have a short notice UFC debut. But Marcus is no bum. The problem with Marcus, he's very one-dimensional. He is A big dude. He is in good shape. He is a BJJ nightmare. He is a heavyweight who grapples like somebody much smaller, both off of his back and on top. The striking's not very good, but he is big, he carries power, and he will get after it. Being that he needs to get fights to the ground, he does shoot a ton of takedowns. Some attempts are better than others. He's pretty relentless with those attempts. He's got a solid chin. He has a willingness to engage, but he's closer to a one-dimensional BJJ nerd than he is a complete MMA fighter. I wish I had seen Buday fight a nasty wrestler. Like, I wish I've seen him fight somebody who's going to shoot a million takedowns. This way I could gauge what his takedown defense actually is in some sort of appropriate manner, because right now he is listed at having a 100% takedown defense. He has defended every single takedown attempt on him in the UFC. The problem is he hasn't fought anybody that has any real meaningful takedowns. So it's kind of an inflated fake stat. Martin is the better fighter overall. He's the more well-rounded guy. He's got decent wrestling. He's got decent takedown defense. He's got decent grappling. He's got decent striking. He's the overall better MMA fighter, and he's fighting a guy that's very, very good at one single thing. I think what I'm going to do here is pick Martin Buday. This is a fight, as the week goes on, I might start to feel otherwise. I broke this down, as I do all fights, without any odds. Sometimes I end up seeing the odds, right? When I'm going to place bets for a different event, the future odds are available. This fight had no odds whatsoever. I did the full breakdown, my full notes. I made my pick. Then the odds came out, and I was a little bit surprised to see that Martin was the dog here. And I get that he's not wildly exciting. I get that he's not like this prolific finisher, but Marcus is pretty one-dimensional. He's a big dude. Don't get me wrong. He is a big dude. He carries some muscle. He will throw hard, and on the ground, he is an absolute problem. But he's also a guy that you can just out-technique. And I think Martin can be as boring as humanly possible and squeak out a win here. So Martin is going to be the pick. There's no way I'm betting on this fight. Maybe, but this is going to be juiced. Maybe an inside-the-distance decision, no action on Marcus, but I imagine that's going to be juiced. Because if he does win, he can submit Martin. But if he doesn't, he probably just loses the decision, because Martin isn't really getting the finishes at the UFC level that he got at the regional level. Then we have everybody's favorite punching bag, Muhammad Yahya, taking on Stephen Nguyen. And I feel bad for Muhammad Yahya. They keep pushing him. They keep giving him attempts like he's in this part of the world. So they're like, here's our local guy. We just paid the UFC $1 gazillion to bring this fight card here. So let's give Muhammad Yahya a fight. This dude does not belong in the UFC. And it sucks, because he is tough and he tries to be a well-rounded guy. He's a patient striker. He stands really tall. He does keep his hands low. He's got that traditional martial arts stance, so he's going to stand wide. He's going to bounce in and out of range. The chin is actually decent. And while he likes to plot forward, he doesn't throw very much. There's not a lot of offense there. He can be a bit low volume, so he does just fall over sometimes for no reason whatsoever. There's random power because he'll just wing. He's not a very good fighter. The reality is he's not a very good fighter. He's 0-2 in the UFC. He's coming off that finish loss to Caio Fernandez. He's taking on Stephen Nguyen. That's how you pronounce Nguyen. Win. W-I-N. And that's what he's going to do here. Nice play on words, Big Ange. Listen, Stephen Nguyen's a well-rounded fighter. He's got heavy hands. He's got slick submissions. He's a composed striker. He stays light on his feet. He moves well. He will absolutely send a right hand down the pipe, and he's not just a striker. He'll work in a beautiful slam, some trips, some good takedowns. He'll try to snatch up submissions. He is a hot prospect, but he didn't quite live up to that hype in his UFC debut. It is a pretty simple breakdown, and if you didn't figure it out yet, I'm going with Stephen Nguyen. Muhammad Yahya is not very good. Stephen Nguyen is good. Therefore, I am picking Stephen Nguyen to get the win. Full pun intended. The reality is we might get a decision here, though. What I'm hoping happens is we get a 1.5 round line so I can slam the over, because Muhammad Yahya is tough enough to just kind of take a beating for a little bit. Stephen Nguyen going to be the pick. Then we have DaMon Blackshear taking on, this looks like Jacob if Jacob had a fentanyl problem. That's what Davey Grant looks like Jacob if he's been drinking for 20 years and had a real hard truck route. I mean, look at him. Is that not what we're looking at here? Because right now, Jacobs looks incredible for his age. You guys probably assume he's 25 years old. He looks incredible for his age. Davey Grant looks like Jacob if he smoked too much, drove a truck, and was just hanging out with some rest stop bunnies a little too long with a couple of nose candy bender weekends. But we got DaMon Blackshear taking on Davey Grant. DaMon Blackshear, athletic striker, impressive speed, good power. He can grapple as well. He's at an average of about 2 takedowns per fight. Solid volume in his strikes. He's got technical boxing, clean takedowns. He does have 4 losses in the UFC, but if you run through each one of those losses, they are quality and they do hold up. He's coming off that decision win over Alatang Haley, where he came out with a flying knee, but still somehow ended up being tentative in that fight. He's taking on Davey Grant. Busy striker. He utilized kicks for range. He's got decent punches. And I know that sounds like punch him in the face, like he's got decent punches. But in reality, he does have some solid boxing, just clean, old-fashioned punches. People forget that he started his career as a grappler. He sort of evolved into a striker over time. He's an experienced guy. He's gotten comfortable with his hands. He's developed some power. He's got a couple of knockouts, nothing crazy. He has 13 fights under the UFC umbrella, and he's built himself some solid fight IQ. Even when he gets dropped, which is somewhat often, he sort of bounces back, keeps it moving, and continues to fight. He's coming off that busy win over Mohammad Tavares, where the volume was the difference despite being 400 years old. This should be DaMon Blackshear 7 out of 10 times. 70% of the time that these two fight, DaMon Blackshear picks. And the only reason DaMon Blackshear would lose the 3 times is because sometimes he's a little hesitant. And Davey Grant will just continue to move forward. He doesn't give a shit. Davey Grant is not hesitant. Is he old? Yeah. Is he used up? Yeah. Is he chinny? Yeah. All of those things. Is he handsome? No. But Davey Grant could potentially win a few of these matchups just with sheer volume. So DaMon Blackshear is going to be the pick. And I'm going to pick him. I likely have a bet on him at some point this week. I just wish I knew with 100% certainty that DaMon Blackshear would let his hands go and not just end up in a weird staring contest or backing up because Davey Grant's just going to move forward without a thought in his head. And before we move on to the next fight, you should have some thoughts in your head about using the fight simulator. We've got a whole bunch of tools on the website. The fight simulator is by far the most powerful tool. What this does is it simulates every fight on the card 100,000 times. It'll bring in historical grappling stats, it'll bring in historical striking stats, and it runs through those fights. Then it gives you the outputs. Not only will it tell you who it thinks wins the fights, but it'll give you each individual stat along the way. If you use DraftKings, if you use BetOnline, a lot of these sports books are starting to have significant strike lines, takedown lines, and other things that you can bet on. If you use the fight simulator and you run DaMon Blackshear and Davey Grant, for example, through the fight simulator, it'll say who it thinks wins with those 100,000 simulations and how many strikes it thinks each person will land in their wins and losses. You can then look at that average strike line, go to your sports book, see what line they established, and if there's a big delta there, bet the over or the under. The outputs will also build full-blown DraftKings fantasy lineups, and now, as of 2 weeks ago, FanDuel fantasy lineups as well. It's just one of many tools that we have on the website. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. The Fight Simulator is by far the most powerful tool that we offer. It is only $10 for an entire month, and it is included with everything that we do. There's no weird upsell, no cross-sell, no dumbass packages, no like platinum, gold, none of that bullshit. All of it, $10, one package, WeWantPicks.com. Then we have Muslim Salikhov taking on Carlos Leal. This card is loaded with a bunch of olds fighting some youngs, and that's what we have here. We have an old fighting a young. This young has been screwed in Abu Dhabi before. He went all the way to this side of the world, had a very solid outing, and the judges were like, nah, you're not beating one of ours. And they sent him with his first UFC loss. But since then, he has bounced back. He's got to win. He's looking to build himself a little streak. Carlos Leal is a dangerous Muay Thai striker. He's not afraid to engage. His forward pressure, open hand stance do leave him open to get his legs chopped up a bit, but he is durable enough to hang. He's got some grappling as well, but it is definitely a backup plan. It is never his plan A. Takedown defense is just okay, but it's mostly strength related. He's coming off that huge knockout win over Alex Morono, and he's fighting an old dude. Muslim Salikhov is 41 years old, the king of Kung Fu. He is a solid striker. He hits very hard. He has wrestling in his back pocket if he needs it. He holds nothing back. Almost every single strike statistically that he throws is a significant strike. He has good takedown defense. He's got solid takedown offense. The striking is pretty sound. He's coming off that knockout win over Song Kanan where a spinning back kick is what got it done. Muslim's not a young man. He is 41 years old. His chin is headed out the door, but he can still get wins at this level. His striking is slick, and it's unorthodox enough to frustrate some people. Unfortunately for him, Leal at this point in his career is too tough, too durable, hits too hard. I see Leal pouring it on. I see the pressure in Muslim's face. He's not going to be able to get that old school karate style going because Carlos is just going to be in that face. So Carlos is going to be the pick. I do think if Muslim has success with the unorthodox striking, then Carlos is just going to start to wrestle. Leal's going to be the pick. We could potentially see a stoppage here. He's another guy, minus 400. We're in the era of big-time favorites in the UFC. Like, this is the you have to do two-leg parlay era. That's unfortunately where we are. Minus 400 for Carlos Leal, probably appropriate. Those are probably appropriate odds here. But I'm not going to lay out $400 to win 100, so I'm going to have to take him, put him with somebody else, and then we'll lay out 100 to win 110 or lay out 100 to win 90. Carlos Leal is going to be the pick. Probably safe to parlay. Then we have Amanda Ribas taking on Tabatha Ricci. I'm 100% certain when Jacob is breaking down this fight, his hands are not going to be above the table. And this is a tricky one to break down. My mind and my gut are split on this fight because this could go a few different ways, and they're sort of having weird career struggles and trajectories right now. We got Amanda Ribas. Outside of being the love of Jacob's life, Amanda Ribas is a pretty well-rounded fighter. She's getting a solid matchup here. They're giving her a fight that she should be able to win on paper. This fight is at 115 pounds, which is the weight class that is best suited for her. She started her career as a grappler, but she has added striking. She's comfortable everywhere now. Her striking stats are solid. She almost has a 5-3 striking differential, or a little bit more than 4-3 striking differential, a 60% striking defense. And to round her out, her takedown defense is very solid at 83%. She's got plenty of cardio. She's always willing to fight. And she's coming off that submission loss to Mackenzie Dern that Jacob and I saw firsthand in person, where she decided to grapple for no reason whatsoever. She's taking on Tabatha Ricci. Tabatha Ricci is a very good grappler in her own right. She takes her time. She settles into possessions before looking for a submission. She's very heavy on top. She's got good pressure, good control. She's unbelievably strong. She's in phenomenal shape. The problem is, she started dating a boxer. She started dating a pale, see-through, could have been an extra in the movie Powder boxer. And now Tabatha Ricci thinks she's a boxer. So Tabatha Ricci, instead of being this like short little jacked wrestler who's going to lay on top of you and grapple, she's turning into what she thinks is a slick boxer. Problem is, she's not very slick. She comes out, she throws a million little punches that have no power whatsoever, holds you against the cage, looks for takedown attempts that she isn't going to get. And it's overall not a solid performance. You can look at Tabatha Ricci's career and see like, wow, look, she's doing pretty well. She's getting better. She's improving. Dating the ginger. Uh-oh. Got worse. She didn't plateau. She literally got worse because she stopped working on the things that she's good at. She only started striking. And if you look at any video of Tabatha Ricci training, it is all just like hit training. No mitts, no takedowns. It's just hit training. Just jumping in and out of circles on the ground, battle ropes, jumping on and off boxes. That's the problem with Tabatha Ricci. She's in unbelievable shape, but she's going away from what got her to the UFC and what got her success in the UFC. She won fights in the UFC with forward pressure and grappling. Ever since she became a fake boxer, her career has not been the same. And that's why this is a tough breakdown, because Amanda Ribas is also in her own skid. Amanda Ribas is in a weird situation, right? So my brain and my gut are split. My brain is saying Amanda Ribas is the better fighter. She has excellent takedowns. She's got powerful hands. She's got solid BJJ, and she has fought the much better slate of opponents between the two. Tabatha Ricci, as I mentioned, went from grappler to pitter-patter striker because her boyfriend likes to box. This version of Ricci, the one who only trains cardio and just looks to box, probably cannot beat Amanda. Amanda's too well-rounded. Has too many things going for her. But the flip side, what my gut is saying is Ricci. My gut is leaning Ricci because while she is a lot smaller, the reality is she's got good pressure. She's got decent cage control. She has insane cardio, and things for Amanda have just not been going that well. Ultimately, the pick is going to be Amanda because the reality is, while Amanda made a couple of mistakes in her last fight, she is the absolute type of person to feel bad for herself for about 5 minutes, pick herself up, dust herself off, get back to work, come out here, and every fight is a new fight. I do think Amanda wins here. Amanda is just the better fighter. And what is funny is Amanda's the favorite, minus 145 favorite. But if you go to Tapology and you look at the votes, overwhelmingly, like 75% of people are saying Tabatha Ricci wins this fight. That is recency bias at its best, although Tabatha is also coming off a loss. Wasn't quite as bad as Amanda's loss, but I'm pretty sure Mackenzie Dern absolutely smokes Tabatha Ricci too. So Amanda Ribas is going to be the pick. Tabatha Ricci has the skills. She's just not using them anymore because of that stupid-ass boxer boyfriend. Then we have Nikita Krylov taking on Bogdan Guskov. Nikita Krylov, a tried-and-true vet. I was surprised to see he was only 33 years old. Every time I do these graphics, there's always some stats that jump out at me, and his age is one of them. This guy has been in the UFC for a very long time. I don't want to say flying under the radar because we're all familiar with who he is, but he has fought some of the best in the division, and he has been doing it for a very long time. Nikita Krylov is a well-rounded guy. He's got very good wrestling, very good striking. He's got good forward pressure. He mixes the striking and the grappling very well. He's got solid takedowns. He averages more than 2 per fight. He's coming off that knockout loss to a resurging Dominic Reyes. He's taking on Bogdan Guskov, the gay dude from the TV show on HBO, the Russian. What the hell's shit. This is how you know I'm old. I'm at the age, oh my God. I'm at the age where I'm like the guy from the show. Come on, the guy from the show. All right, the show is Barry. Who's the gay dude that has no hair whatsoever, no eyebrows, no hair, nothing? He's that guy. That's who he looks like. And they keep saying he looks like Anthony Smith. No. He looks like Anthony Smith all right. There's a circle jerk with Anthony Smith, Powder, and the gay dude from Barry. And then the sperm all gets mixed up in the little container. And then they shove it inside of a very pale woman. Bogdan Guskov comes out. That's what he looks like. Anyway, guys, listen, I apologize. Okay. I'm filming this a little early. I'm filming this on Saturday instead of Sunday because I drank a little too much last night. I'm going to drink a lot today. If you have not watched the vlog, I don't know if it's out yet. Watch the vlog. You will see it's going to be a full day of drinking. And because I'm a planner, I recognize, hey, Sunday morning might be rough for me. So let's go ahead. Let's get the breakdown while I'm coherent. Let's get the breakdown while I'm not like insanely hungover, fighting off God knows what I'm fighting off on Sunday morning. I'm going to be up till 2 o'clock in the morning Saturday night filming a recap. So my apologies if I'm a little out of whack here. All right, the circle jerk analogy, a little out of pocket. My bad. Hopefully you're not listening to this on speakerphone with your family around. Bogdan Guskov is a decent fighter, though. He's a heavy-handed guy, likes to come forward, he'll throw big, he'll mix things up. When he's striking, he can be fast. He has some very real power. He keeps his hands low, but he does have decent footwork and nice combinations. If he doesn't get an early knockout or have enough success striking, he will work you to the cage, and he will look to grapple. On top, he's patient. He's got good control. He's coming off that submission win over Billy Elekana, where the problem is Bogdan Guskov was taken down a little early, exposed some holes in that ground game. When I first saw these odds, I was surprised. I was surprised to see Nikita Krylov as a 2-1 favorite. And then I rewatched Bogdan's last fight, and I was like, I get it. I see how the bookmakers got here. Bogdan has incredible hands, but the wrestling and grappling holes that we saw in that last fight can be concerning. Getting taken down as easily as he did without a real path back to his feet sort of sets the tone for Nikita Krylov. Nikita Krylov is a high fight IQ guy. And he knows what he needs to do here. Nikita, in theory, should be able to get the takedowns and ride out Bogdan. If you are a MMA math believer, the easiest math you could do here is Krylov beat Volkan, Volkan beat Guskov. Done. And Krylov beat Volkan with takedowns, Volkan beat Guskov with takedowns. So it's like really working your way up that math ladder there. With all of that being said, Guskov hits like an absolute motherfucker, so he could put Nikita's lights out. We just saw Nikita's lights get put out. Nikita's going to be the pick because it's an obvious path forward, and he is a very high fight IQ fighter. I'm not betting on this fight. I am staying far, far away from this fight. And guys, if you want $50, I'm going to send it to you. WeWantPicks.com/bets. You sign up, you make a deposit using any of our links, and then we send you $50 as a thank you. It's affiliate marketing, very straightforward process. We earn a one-time commission. I slice off some of that money. I give it right back to you. Don't forget, every single pay-per-view, we film a vlog. UFC 318 has passed by the time you're watching this, but UFC 319 is in a couple of weeks. If you want to send something for the vlog, send a letter. If you have a small business, you want me to shout that business out, send it to We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406 in Prosper, Texas, 75078. Don't forget, there's a lot of don't forget here because none of this is news to you. You've seen these videos before. You've heard the promo before. What ends up happening inevitably is there's a bunch of people that sign up. We've got, 45, 46, 4,700 premium members. It goes up and down constantly because we'll always gain a bunch of members and then, some credit card fails and whatever else. We lose a few, then we gain a bunch, lose a few, gain a bunch, lose a few, gain a bunch. That's the trajectory we've been on. So you guys have all heard the promo. Some of you jumped right on like, yeah, fuck it, it's $10. Let me take a look. These tools are incredible. Others are like, you're not going to convince me. I'm not buying it. Some of you listen, hear it, listen, hear it, listen, hear it, listen. And then many, many months later, you're like, all right, I'll do it. So for you, a reminder. The Fight Simulator is one of, if not the most powerful tool in this space. And I like to emphasize the tools because a lot of you are like, I don't need to buy picks and bets. Fair. That's fair. Some of you are like, of course I want to buy picks. I just want to see what everybody's doing. I'd love to see your bets so I can just A, blindly tail, or B, see what you guys are doing and feel it out. The people who want to use the tools, who want to feed themselves, teach a man the fish, Fight Simulator, quite literally the most powerful tool in this space. Period. It simulates every fight 100,000 times and gives you each individual stat across the way. We also have a tool called the Tape Index. If you want to do your own tape study, you want to deep dive, you like to get ahead on the cards. UFC 319 is 3 weeks away, but the Tape Index is already loaded up with every single fight from UFC 319. You select the card, you select your fighter, you'll have their full fight history, details of each individual fight, and if there's a little red play button, you click it, video pops up, and you are off to the races. We have a DraftKings optimizer, which now has to be renamed because it doesn't just build DraftKings lineups, it can also build FanDuel lineups as well. And here's the card you're going to be unlocking. I advertise $10 a month. A month. You know there's Euro trash out there charging $100 a card? You realize that? Euro trash. $100 a card. That's insane. That is insane. It's insane. This is $10 a month. And it's not just a list of a couple bets that when they fail, I'm like, well, we could bet on women's tennis. No. It is 3 different cappers giving you their bets. 5 different cappers giving you their picks. One of them is an artificial intelligence. Then we have tools that will build DraftKings lineups for you. We have tools that will simulate fights. We have research tools that will let you drag and drop data points. And it's $10 for an entire month, a whole month. And here's what that month of cards looks like. We have UFC Abu Dhabi. We have 2 fight nights, and then we have UFC 319. It's $10 freaking dollars. You like to copy paste? We got you. You like to do your own research? We got you. You're a data nerd? We got you. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. At the top, it's $10 a freaking month. You hate it? Cancel. It's $10. That's less than a freaking coffee with a little extra sugar. We do have a toll-free number. You guys want to leave a message? Leave a message. And a lot of you have been leaving messages guessing my weight. Okay, let's move past that. Why don't you start leaving messages on your predictions of fights or your reactions to fights? I would love to hear some. Again, I am filming this before UFC 318 because I'm expecting to be fully hungover all day Sunday. But maybe something controversial happens tonight at UFC 318. I don't know. I would love to hear just an absolute rage crash out from some chaos that happened on the fight card. Think old school radio. When people call in, like, can you believe? Here's the number, 866-WE-WANT-PICKS. That's 866-939-2687. And Jacob and I will be at Noche UFC. If you are in San Antonio on September 13th, if you're attending the fights, come say hi to the boys. I don't know what we're going to do. We're definitely going to do something. Like post up at a bar, let you all know so we can buy you a couple of drinks, say thank you for all the support over the years. I don't know which bar, I don't know when, I don't know where, but we'll be at the weigh-ins. We'll be, I don't know if there's going to be a press conference, and we will not be at the press conference because we're going to get in Friday, but we'll be at the weigh-ins. We'll be in the VIP area because the VIP tickets went on sale. They were affordable. We jumped on. We're going to figure out the details, but your boys will be at Noche UFC September 13th in San Antonio. Come say hi. We're going to figure out the details later. Let's go ahead and break down this main card. And as I said, this card is all over the place. I don't know what the fight order is going to be. I don't even know if this is on the main card. It might be. Ibo Aslan's a guy that they're looking to push, so it might be, but I'm not positive. But as of right now, as of this minute, the main card opener for UFC Abu Dhabi is Ibo Aslan taking on Billy Elekana. Ibo Aslan's a fast, heavy-handed striker. He can knock you out with half power. He can knock you out with short hooks. He is a bit wide. He's a bit sloppy, but it doesn't really matter because he has so much power. He's got plenty of it in both hands that he can put you out on his feet. He's not looking to wrestle, but he can sneak in an occasional body lock trip when he's just teeing off close in the distance. The problem is he does have some cardio issues, and if he doesn't get a win early, things could get dicey, and we're going to find out how much power he actually has or what his cardio is going to look like because he's taking on Billy Elekana. This guy's a patient but heavy-handed striker. He's a long guy. He uses his length to keep range. He mostly backs up, looks to counter, but he does have a nice step-in jab. He's got plenty of feints, good twitches as well, a solid takedown defense. Most Elekana fights will be slow-paced on the feet for the first round or so. And then he finally settles in. He gets comfortable. He picks up the pace. He's coming off that short notice UFC debut loss to Bogdan Guskov where he had early success, but he faded. It was short notice. He was up in weight and is staying up in weight apparently. I think I'm going to go with the dog here. Ibo is obviously insanely dangerous. He's a powerful guy, but he has cardio issues. Billy is the exact type of guy. He is durable enough to extend the fight. He can completely wear out Ibo just by being alive. Billy has underrated striking. He can hang on the ground. I was much more confident in Billy until I saw the odds. And it's funny how odds do that to you because I broke down this fight before odds existed. And then the odds came out. I updated these graphics right before filming and I was like, oh shit, dude. I just picked a plus 235. And it is funny how odds will seep into your brain and convince you. And then I was like, should I switch? I'm sticking with my guns. I looked at it. Objectively, I said, Ibo is dangerous, but this dude fades. Billy Elekana is tough. Billy Elekana can wrestle. Billy Elekana can take a beating. I think he can survive early and take over. I'm going to pick Billy. Let's hope we get a 1.5 round line, and we're going to slam the over. That's probably the best bet that we get here. Then we have Bryce Mitchell making his 135-pound debut. This is a great matchup. This is going to be a very interesting fight. Bryce Mitchell moving down to 135 pounds for this fight. And while lots of fighters constantly go up and down in weight to try to find their best, find the perfect balance between strength and size and the ability to bully. I don't love this one. I do not love that Bryce Mitchell is going down. Obviously, he got smoked in his last fight, but he wasn't a very small 145-pounder, and his losses were all to some of the best fighters on planet Earth. This feels more like a knee-jerk reaction to a beating than an actual plan. I don't love him at this weight class, but we're going to break him down. He's a dominant wrestler. He sticks to that game plan. He averages a little more than 3 takedowns per fight. He only has under 3 significant strikes landed per minute. So basically, this dude's sniffing crotch immediately. He's not throwing a lot of punches. He's just getting after it as soon as he can. If he gets you to the ground, which is almost a guarantee, he doesn't really strike. He works for submissions. He's got incredible scrambles, great control. He's a problem for a lot of people on the ground. He is coming off that very bad loss to Jean Silva, which did force him down to this weight class. He's taking on Said Nurmagomedov. You're going to hear the last name, but he's a striker, not a grappler. He uses his length really well. His range keeps him dangerous both in and out of the pocket. He can literally throw kicks to your head while standing only a few feet away from you. His striking is versatile. His takedown defense is solid at 62%. The length doesn't just benefit him on the feet, it does benefit him on the ground as well. He has more guillotine wins than anybody else in this division, potentially in the UFC. He might have one of the best guillotines in all of MMA because people know what's coming, and there it still is. He's coming off that loss of Vinicius Oliveira where he just couldn't handle the pressure that Lock Dog brought. This is officially the toughest fight on this entire card to pick. I've gone back and forth. I'm struggling with this. I do know that Saeed has questionable takedown defense, and he has been taken down 11 times in the UFC. If we get a healthy, full of energy, physically strong Bryce, he can absolutely win this fight the same way he has won so many other fights. If, however, we get a chinny, sucked out Bryce Mitchell who's shooting takedowns from a quarter mile away, he's going to get embarrassed. He is going to get embarrassed. And as of this minute, I'm going to pick Bryce because of what I think is going to be a pretty healthy wrestling advantage. But I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this fight. I'm not 100% sold just yet. As the week goes on, as you guys have heard me do many times before, I gain and lose confidence in different fighters as things continue throughout the week. Keep an eye on this one if you're premium. Keep an eye on the website, see if anything flips. Obviously, Jacob and I will break down this card later in the week. I'll do another DraftKings video. Just keep an eye on the content, see if I flip my pick at some point. I am very, if it's on a 100% scale, right now I'm Bryce Mitchell at 50.5%. It is razor thin for me. If this was his second fight at 135 pounds, I'd be far more confident one direction or other. But his first fight at this weight class makes things a little tricky for me. But it is what it is. Bryce is going to be the pick for now. The line is moving against him, by the way. Bryce was a slight favorite. Now it's dead even. So it's sliding that way. Saeed might end up being the favorite come fight night. Then we have Petr Yan taking on Marcus McGee in the featured fight of the evening. This is a spectacular matchup, and we're going to find out how good Marcus is in this fight. Because Petr Yan is no bum. This guy's the former bantamweight champion of the world. Phenomenal striker, fantastic takedown defense, and surprisingly solid takedown offense as well. He's a nightmare for a lot of people because of A, how dangerous his striking is, and B, how underrated his wrestling is. He plots forward, he's got that Muay Thai guard, and then he blasts away with power and accuracy. He's averaging almost 2 takedowns per fight. He has a solid 84% takedown defense, and he's coming off the decision win over Deiveson Figueiredo, where he more than doubled Figgy strikes. He's taking on Marcus McGee, a powerful guy with heavy hands, takedowns, and one-punch knockouts all over his career. His takedown defense is solid. He's got slick submissions that he uses in scrambles. He sets a nice pace. He carries his power late into fights. And he's coming off that decision win over Jonathan Martinez where his leg got chewed up, so he had to hop on his bicycle and ride around in circles to get to that scorecard. This is a tough fight for me to pick as well because I think very highly of Marcus McGee. He's fast, he's powerful, he's well-rounded. The problem is that in this fight, we just saw Marcus McGee get his legs chewed up, and Petr Yan has phenomenal kicks. He's very fluid, he's very slick. Petr Yan absolutely has the ability to also chew up Marcus McGee's legs. Petr Yan is definitely, without question, the most accomplished fighter Marcus McGee would ever stand across the cage from. I think experience may matter here, so the pick is going to be Petr, but this fight feels like a trap, and Marcus absolutely has the ability to play spoiler here, just ruining any back-to-the-title dreams Petr may have. But Marcus McGee is a great fighter. Petr Yan's going to have to be the pick just based off of his body of work and the fact that he's still young. He accomplished world champion dreams very early in his career, so it feels like he's been around. It feels like he's a little used up. He did have a little bit of a skid there, but one of them was a robbery. Petr Yan's looked good recently. I think he gets it done. And I think you need to get to the tape index, because those of you who like to do your own research know what an absolute pain in the dick it can be to find the tape, to go watch historical fights. If you want to see Marcus McGee's last fight, it could take you 3 to 5 minutes to find that damn fight. Not with the tape index. All we've done is we've lined up every single fighter on every single card now and in the future for you. So let's say you want to do your UFC 319 prep. You go to the tape index under tools in the menu. You select your event, UFC 319. You select the fighter you want to do tape study on. It'll bring up their full fight history. You can expand each individual line to see how they won, how they lost, what the odds were at the time. And then you can click the little red play button, the video pops up, you watch the tape, and you're off to the races. Premium membership's only $10 for an entire month. And if you do tape study on 12 fights, that's 24 fighters. And if you watch one video, the time it takes to find them, even if it's 1 minute, to find the tape, that's 24 minutes per card, per week. It's $10 a month. You cheap sons of bitches. This is just one of many tools at WeWantPicks.com. Then we have the co-main event of the evening. We have Shara Bullet Magomedov taking on Marc-Andre Barriault. Shara Bullet is always an exciting and interesting guy to break down, because when he showed up in the UFC, they billed him as like the most dangerous, scary striker you've ever seen. And physically, this dude's scary. He's a comic book villain. He's got one eye. He's got a gap tooth. That beard makes him look homeless. This guy is a psychopath. He also has incredible striking. He popped onto the scene a couple of years ago. He showed up with 12 knockouts in his 16 fights. Now 16. But knockouts have not come as easy at the UFC level as they did at the regional level. He is still insanely powerful. He's very fast. He'll mix up different striking techniques. His takedown defense is solid, especially given the fact that he is a pure striker. Offensive takedowns don't exist, never happen, never will. His chin, absolute granite. He is coming off that decision loss to Michael Venom Page, where he did a lot of bouncing, but he never found his rhythm because of that insane, awkward karate style that Michael brings to his fights. He's taking on Marc-Andre Barrio. This guy's a well-rounded fighter, solid kickboxing, good takedowns, decent jiu-jitsu. He's typically looking to pressure forward, wear you down on your feet. He's got an impressive striking volume at 6 significant strikes landed per minute, but he is also hit with more than 5. He's not particularly powerful, but he is busy enough and tough enough to grind out wins. He's coming off that head-denting win over Bruno Silva, where he ended Bruno's career with a gruesome exchange. If you haven't seen the picture of Bruno's head quite literally concaved, I recommend you give that a look. But that's not an indication of, oh my God, Marc-Andre hits that hard. That's just more, oh my God, Bruno Silva has a soft head. The reality is, Chara should win this fight. It's going to be a mostly striking matchup. Chara is the much better striker. Obviously, I know that Chara just lost the striking exchange with Michael Venom Page, and I wasn't surprised at all because I picked Michael Venom Page in that fight. But these are very different matchups. MVP is an in-and-out karate expert who is long, awkward, and lightning fast. Marc-Andre just relies on sort of empty forward pressure and a lot of hand movement, and that's just not going to work here. Even if he connects a million times over, Chara's head is made out of cement. It's not going to matter. I think Chara absolutely tests Marc-Andre's chin. I think he lights him up. Chara Bullet is the pick. And then we have the main event of the evening. This is one of the more intriguing fights that we're going to have this year, because we're going to find out how good Renier de Ridder actually is. We're going to see if Robert Whittaker is cooked at this point in his career, or if he is still one of the division's elite. He is only 34 years old, but he's fought some of the best on the planet, which makes it look like he's aging faster than he is. Robert Whittaker, as we all know, is one of the most well-rounded fighters we have ever seen. He has phenomenal striking. He has very good wrestling. He's got great takedown defense. He's high fight IQ. He's durable. He's tough. He's gritty. He works in and out of the pocket really well. He lunges in. He's got great movement patterns. He just had his teeth completely shoved into the back of his throat. And you may watch that and be like, this guy's cooked. Or you may watch it and be like, yeah, that's Khamzat Chimaev. That dude got a nasty takedown instantly and crushed his face. Robert Whittaker has mentioned a few times over, that's happened to me before. Khamzat isn't the first. That's happened to me before. My teeth have done that before. I've got a week, whatever the fuck. It's happened. It is what it is. That's why I tapped. I immediately knew what happened there. So if that's the case, and you just want to look at that and zoom out and say, all right, Robert Whittaker is still phenomenal. He just got taken down instantly by the best wrestler in the division, and his teeth went backwards, and that's happened before. So this fight is when we find out if Robert still has it or if he's over the hill, because he's taking on a giant 6'4" Renier de Ridder. He's a former 2-division champion in ONE FC. He's a solid grappler. He's got decent takedowns, great submissions. He's very big for this weight class. He uses that size really well. He'll strike. It's not very clean, but he definitely just will bomb away. He got some decent power. He definitely thrives on the ground. He seems a bit out of sorts if a fight stays on the feet a little too long. He's coming off that finished win over Bo Nickel, where the size and the grappling advantage were the difference. And I didn't say wrestling advantage. I said grappling advantage. Bo fucked himself in that fight by jumping Gilly, thinking he was going to submit Renier. Because then he ends up on his back. Renier ends up the round. Goes in the second round knowing full well, oh, I'm a better grappler than this guy. And I love Robert Whittaker. A, he's hilarious. B, he couldn't be more likable. He is true to himself. Skill-wise, he's absolutely fantastic. He's one of the best and most well-rounded middleweights we have ever seen. I thought he beat Izzy the second time. But at a certain point, your favorite fighter is officially over the hill. And I think that time might be for Robert Whittaker when his teeth got shoved into the back of his throat. I understand it's happened before, but that's not great. That is not great. So now, obviously, RDR is not the wrestler that Chimaev is, but he is tremendous. He could very well bully his way forward, eventually get Robert Whittaker to the ground. The smart pick here is Robert Whittaker because skill-wise, he's the better striker. He's the better overall fighter. He's accomplished way more. But I have a fear that he's on the decline. And I think Renier might just be a little too much at this point in Robert Whittaker's career. I also think Renier's very, very good. This isn't a fade Robert Whittaker type breakdown. I think Renier is very good. I think his size is an advantage for him. And I think as long as he can close the distance and not let Robert do what Robert does, which is strike on the outside, rush in, land a combination, and then scoot the hell back out, Renier can win this fight. I'm going to pick him. Low confidence pick here, but I am going to go with Renier. I will be full-blown rooting for Bobby Knuckles. Guys, that is the breakdown. Do me a favor, download the app. We have an app. The app is 100% free. Just search We Want Picks in the App Store. Not only does it have everything that the website has, but it also has push notifications. Every time you place a bet, boom, you'll be notified instantly so you can hop on board before those lines absolutely take off in the wrong direction. Inside the app, you'll have full access to the fight simulator. And I continue to repeat and emphasize the fight simulator because it's a tool we're very proud of. We built this from scratch. We coded it from nothing. The fight simulator simulates fights 100,000 times, and it gives you those outputs from those simulations. It'll just straight up build the DraftKings fantasy lineup for you. It'll now straight up build a FanDuel fantasy lineup for you. We have other tools like the Tape Index. If you want to do your own research, watch the fights with your own eyes. We have the DraftKings Optimizer, which can now build FanDuel fantasy lineups. So it's not just DraftKings. It is a full-blown optimizer with the industry-first beginner mode. Many of you watch these videos have no idea what DraftKings Fantasy is. Or maybe you know what it is, but you don't know how to use an optimizer. We added a mode for you. 80% of people, we're subscribed to the 80-20 rule. 80% of people don't know how to use an optimizer. So instead of expecting that you do know how, we built a beginner mode. So we're just going to ask you logical questions like, who are your most confident favorites? Who are your favorite underdogs? You answer those questions, it'll just go ahead and build lineups for you right out of the gate. We have a data analyzer, a very under-the-radar tool that allows you to deep dive stats. It's built for the future. So again, if you're trying to do UFC 319 research, you collect 319 as the event in the list. It'll immediately list all the fighters. You select your fighter. It'll line your fighter up next to their opponent, give you each individual stat, and then you can go ahead and add more stats. You can stack filters. You can deep dive each individual component of a fighter so you can go find your favorite bet, go ahead and do your research, find your favorite spots, and make some money. We have other tools like the line movement tracker. This will give you the opening odds, the current odds, the win probability, and the line movement for every fighter on every card. We have a prop hunter, a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. We have more than just my beautiful face and baby Jake. We also have Bet Sam. Bet Sam's giving you his picks, his bets, his breakdowns. We've got Artem. We call him the Regional Rain Man. This guy is crushing regional fight cards. PFL, Dana White Contender Series, LFA, Cage Warriors. This guy is on an absolute tear when it comes to non-UFC fights and then actual UFC fights. Same type of success, giving you his picks, his bets, and his breakdowns. And then we have an artificial intelligence that's picking fights based solely off of historical data. Every single freaking thing that I just mentioned is in one package for $10. $10. One package. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. No upsell, no cross-sell, no nonsense. Unlock it all right now on the website. And finally, if you want 50, we'll send you 50. Everybody can make some money here. We'll wash our hands together. You go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. You use the link. You sign up. You make a deposit. We get paid a one-time commission. We slice off some money. We give it to you. Everybody's happy. Guys, good luck this week. These midday fight cards are nice because you get your night. You get your night. I'm looking forward to this fight card. Seems like a trickier one to break down than some others. So be careful this week. Good luck. See you on the other side.